Aisha, I won't say it's a mini re-rating moment for the pharma sector, and I'll tell you why. Because this is a big drug, and this is one of the biggest drugs in US. The fact that there is going to be a fact that Dr. Reddy has actually settled it with the innovator, that just tells you that the current innovator in this case was scared of losing that turf. Now, Dr. Reddy has not settled how much money upfront they've paid to the innovator, but Dr. Reddy has also got a in-principle approval to launch the drug with other players in March 2022. So what will happen in the short term? Dr. Reddy will get cash flow. Markets in a pharma company, they're obsessed with cash flows. Ultimately, buying stocks is about buying cash flows. So that cash flow picture, in the sense, is going to change the financial numbers for Dr. Reddy, and brokerages have already come out with upgrades or with a constructive outlook on Dr. Reddy. Then is the second part, which is that what will be the upside for the drug launch. There I would say that you cannot jump to any kind of a conclusion, because this is a highly competitive market. There are going to be multiple players here. There are more regulatory approvals which will be required. So what I'm trying to say here, Aisha, is that this is a re-rating moment for Dr. Reddy. Dr. Reddy is one of the biggest pharma companies. It's like saying TCS always commands a premium, and if TCS gets something big, there's potential of re-rating the entire sector. So I think that should happen in the short term. A. B, for Dr. Reddy, the run-up in last 1 week, I was looking at data, was about 9-10%. Yesterday was one of the biggest days in the history of Dr. Reddy. So let's see whether stock moves today after a gap up start. But needless to say, Dr. Reddy, which has been an outperforming stock, I think will now remain an outperforming stock, and suddenly everyone would say, okay, Dr. Reddy has got this, let's look at what are the other pharma companies. Because this entire outlook, Aisha, which everyone had, that Indian pharma was in a sense a lost story. It was getting into the tangles of US FDA, they were losing on the manufacturing process, there was price erosion which was hitting them. A lot of those concerns now will take a backseat. Now what will markets say, and pharma analysts say, and fund managers say? Indian pharma companies are getting the mojo back, they're getting necessary approvals, they managed to move up the value chain, and now they are challenging innovators also. So I think the same re-rating for Dr. Reddy, first the re-rating for Dr. Reddy, and then for the 2-3 big companies which are in the same space challenging innovators. I think it's a good moment for pharma, and that's how sectors they move from getting recognized to becoming bull market leaders.